let's briefly touch on Iran. We all know Iran chants death to America, death to Israel, as you said, big Satan, little Satan. It is relentless in their pursuit of a nuclear weapon. They have been since the regime changed power in 1979. I think we can both agree that it's one of probably the greatest threats, not just facing Israel, not just facing America, but facing the free world as a whole. How do you think we should handle that nuclear threat with Iran? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you do?
So first of all, it's important for Europeans to understand that Iran is not just Israel's problem, it's all of the Western civilization problem. It's a Europe problem, it's American problem. This regime that took control in 1979 after the Islamic Revolution has radical Shia Islamist ideology, which is no different than Al-Qaeda and ISIS and any other terror organization. Yes, they are Shia and they are Sunni, but Hezbollah is a Shia terror organization that they are funding, and the Houthis. And it's like having a terrorist organization holds nuclear weapon. Israel is already way in the range of the existing missiles of Iran that will be able to carry a nuclear weapon. But they are not satisfied with this. They are building long-range missiles, intercontinental missiles that can reach to the eastern coast of the United States and, of course, can cover all of European soil. And when you have a radical Islamist regime holding the world as a hostage for their whim because they have a nuclear power and they threaten a nuclear World War III that will probably be the end of humanity. For every time they're not happy about something, this is something that will not only affect Israel, it will affect the daily lives and the peace of Europe, of America, and of the entire world.
Couldn't agree more. It's such a major threat, and it's been such a major threat for a long time. And I think your father and a lot of the leaders in Israel have done a remarkable job doing what has to be done. So your father should be very proud of what he's done so far.
Thank you. I agree.
So let's close, Yair, with another critical long-term threat, the deep state. We have the deep state in America. We see the deep state in Israel. Israel is fighting on three fronts. You have Hamas, you have Hezbollah, and you also have its own deep state. President Trump imposed sweeping sanctions on the ICC. Prime Minister Orban withdrew Hungary from this jurisdiction when he welcomed your father here in Budapest just recently. And in the United States, we have unelected judges that are attempting to override the will of the people and sideline President Trump. Similar things are happening in Israel against your father. What do you make of these deep state threats to the sovereignty of all of our nations?
So, first of all, I want to thank Prime Minister Orban and President Trump for fighting against the ICC. The ICC is the head of the snake of the globalist deep state network. They're trying to uproot the sovereignty of democracies and Western countries and prevent them to be able to fight terrorism and to protect themselves. It's not just Israel's problems, it's a problem of all democracies facing terrorist threats, which include Europe and America for sure. And President Trump, America is not part of the ICC, but they put sanctions on the ICC, and we're deeply grateful for that. And we're deeply grateful for Prime Minister Orban for withdrawing Hungary from the ICC. It's a courageous move, and it is the right thing to do. And we thank him for that, and to the Hungarian people. There is a trend in all of Western world, which is Europe, Brussels, EU, in America, and in Israel, which is unelected bureaucrats, unelected judicial officials, if they're judges or if they're prosecutor, that they think they know better than the public. They know better than the voters, whether it's the American voter or the European voter or the Israeli voter, and they are trying to establish a regime which is not a real democracy, but it's an oligarchy, a regime of the elite, a regime of unelected, educated, they see themselves educated, enlightened elite that rule the country instead of the people. This is very dangerous. This is a problem that Israel is facing. I think not a lot of people are aware of, but the severity of the deep state problem in Israel, it's even worse than America, worse than Brussels. It's very bad. We also face a problem of European taxpayer money, German taxpayer money, EU taxpayer money going and funding radical NGOs, anarchist, Marxist NGOs in Israel that do riots in the streets of Israel with billions of euros pouring from Europe, from your taxpayer money as well, because it comes from the European Union, and funding terrorist organization in the Palestinian Authority. I think your hard-earned taxpayer money as Europeans should go to build your schools, your churches, your health system, etc., and not Palestinian terrorist organization or Israeli radical anarchists. So I'm very hopeful it will change, and I'm very hopeful that strong leaders that represent the will of their people, like my father, like Prime Minister Orban, and like President Trump, will change this and will save Western civilization from this double threat of red-green alliance.
Well, Yair, you are entirely correct. Our Judeo-Christian values, our nations, our civilizations, they are under attack from these woke mobs and from these globalists. Together, I'm confident, and especially as the next generation of leaders in our respective entities, we're going to fight back, and we're going to win. There's no other option. We have to win. You have Prime Minister Orban and Hungarian leaders here today that have reminded us that borders matter, cultures matter, and sovereignty matters. The West will endure, but only if all of us are bold enough to defend it. Let us all work together to fight, and to fight. May God bless Hungary, may God bless Israel, and may God bless the United States of America. Yair Netanyahu, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.